Good morning, EDU 528 students. I just wanted to make this short video to give you an update about the course and just a couple of pieces of feedback. First of all, I want to thank those of you who have completed the SurveyMonkey. This was an evaluation for my teaching that I wanted to do at the mid-semester point. If you haven't completed the survey, I really would appreciate that. I value what you have to say, and it helps to do this at the midpoint, although we're a bit late now, but to do this at the midpoint to make any necessary changes. I wanted to address two pieces of feedback that were in the responses on the survey. One of them was a question about wanting to know how to implement diversity. And I just wanted to say that this course, rather than sort of implementing diversity, like diversity will happen in your classrooms, right? So we'll have diverse learners who are racially, culturally, and linguistically diverse. We'll have students with different abilities. We'll have students with different sexual identities. So those students will be in your classrooms. What the course is to prepare you for is how to best support diverse learners, and part of the reading in the course was to broaden your epistemological stance or broaden your worldview. And that was mostly in the Sleeter and Grant text, and then in the Dardar book on critical pedagogy. Those include some examples of practices that you can engage in to best support diverse learners in the classroom. So I encourage everyone to mine the text for those specific pointers in terms of what you can do in your classrooms. But I will also put some material on CourseWeb, on D2L to enrich some sort of everyday practices for you to engage in as classroom teachers and school educators. The other question was a point about the length of the questions. Often the questions that you all have developed that I think are really good are those that are maybe there's some background information and then a few sort of questions within a question. So it may appear that there are like 3 questions, just for one bullet. I actually think that that's a good thing. I think the reading that we're engaging in, the thinking that we're engaging in this course is complex, right? So we have sort of complex questions for complex texts. And I encourage us to think through the multi-layered issues in education when it comes to diversity. And I appreciate how discussion leaders are trying to support that effort and sort of independently engaging in challenging one another to examine and interrogate the text. So with that being said, just some general feedback. I think that we've gotten to a place where the threads, the discussion board posts are great. I appreciate how you all are using very precise language to talk about issues in diversity. I also think that the responses are much more textually based, so grounded in the text. And the connections to either your teaching practice or your schooling or both are thoughtful and accurate, right? So they're consistent with both the text and the question that's being asked. So I think you all have gotten to a place where across the board, these responses are very well developed. This week we're reading chapter 6 of Dardar, and then there will be one more discussion post assignment due next week. In a separate video, I will talk about the final assignment, so stay tuned for that. All right, have a good Wednesday, and I'll see you virtually.